All right, I think we have time for one more question. This one's going to go to Cora over at Pitt and Frank LLC. Jessica has been taking care of her cousin's house since 2022. The cousin actually passed away in 2021 from COVID. And in this email, Jessica is asking, does she need to get a lawyer to find lost relatives in order to proceed with selling the house? She says no will was ever found from her cousin.
Sure. So if there's no will and that decedent, the cousin died what we call intestate, that means they died without a will, then that real property, that house, is going to pass according to Kentucky's laws on descent and distribution. So there is an intestacy scheme that our law outlines as far as who would have rights to the property. So certainly, if that was her cousin, guess what? She'd be one of those eligible heirs that may have an interest in that property. But before we get to cousins, it goes through a whole other slew of closer knit relatives. So all of that I'm happy to provide if she wants, to call me offline or speak to a real estate attorney or an estate planning attorney about that Kentucky laws on descent and distribution and our intestacy order as far as who may have a right to that real property and the best way to get that conveyed. There are a number of different ways. You can still open an intestate estate if they want to have things flow through probate. If they do not, there are certain other parameters under law that we need to follow. We may have to lodge an affidavit of descent to certify those heirs and record that of record. But even when we do so, going back to one of her initial concerns is yes, if there are closer knit relatives or relatives that are potential heirs that hold an interest, there are notice provisions that we have to abide by. So we do have to go to links to make sure that we try our best to notify those heirs, even if they're international. And so sometimes, if heirs are so remote and someone doesn't have that close-knit family under intestacy laws, in the event no one comes forward, in the event they truly have no one, or those international heirs, despite the best notice provisions that are required, cannot be located, there's always going to be somebody that inherits that estate, and it's called the state of Kentucky, the good Commonwealth. That's where we say it will escheat to the state. But in her instance, since she's a cousin, she may be an eligible heir under intestacy laws, and I would just encourage her to reach out to get further information because notice is certainly required.
A reminder that if you would like to see some of the folks who we've sold homes for, our Sokoler team, go to one of our websites, LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. That's LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. That's videos that we've created with our sellers at the closing table that I've done interviews with. So we are out of time. It went very quickly, and I appreciate everything from advice from Cora Henderson, Pitt and Frank LLC. They do a great job at closing your home loan and other things, including wills. And you can reach Cora to set this up. You can pick the closing attorney that you want. 895-9900 is their direct telephone number. Also, Brad Lawler, who not only owns Home Team Inspection Service, but also Team Bug Out. If you need your house inspected, whether it's a brand new being built or a resale, you can reach Brad. And if you need some help getting rid of pests that might be lurking around your garage or anywhere else, call 844-411-TEAM. And if you're thinking of selling your home now or in the future or buy, I would love to help you. It'd come out. It's free, no obligation analysis. You call me, it's me. I come out, we talk as long as you need, and we'll come up with a path of how to sell your home. No home too big, no home too small. You can reach me at 376-5483 or go to bobsellslouisville.com. And in fact, if you want a free analysis immediately, like right now, go online to wesellouisville.com, all one word, and then at the top, click on a value estimate, and it's computerized, but it will be a start for you to at least get an idea of what your home is worth. We're at a time. See you next Sunday on News Radio 840 WHAN.